Okay, so Hostler here, back again. We're working on the back side of the 3.2 notes. I just want to talk about some of that notation that was mentioned on the front side, this a sub n, this a sub 1, and how to read this notation and interpret this notation. So let's say that I have this sequence or list of numbers, 3, 5, 7, 9, right? And if I'm looking at the common difference, it looks like I would have to add 2 to get from 3 to 5, add 2, add 2. So I have this common difference of 2. Okay, so this is an arithmetic sequence. I'm adding the same value each time. So let's take a look at what this term number means. So term number means what position? What position is the number in the list? So for example, 3 is in that first position in my list. And 5 is the second number in my list. So 7 would be the third number in my list. Okay? And 9 would be the fourth number in my list. I have this dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot, dot means this could go on forever. Okay? The 5th number, the 6th number, the 10th number, the 100th number. Oh my, the 1000th number. So we just say n. The nth number. And n represents, hey, wherever I decide to stop my list, if I want to stop my list after 100, then n would be 100. I'd have 100 numbers in my list. Or if I want to stop my list after 12 numbers, n would be 12. I have 12 numbers in my list. Okay? So then when we talk about how to name the numbers in my list, notice that again, I have this subscript. This is read as a sub 1. And this 1 right here, I'm going to use my highlighter, okay? This 1 right here, notice it relates to the fact that 3 is the first number in my list. And I have this a sub 2. 2 is a subscript. And notice that that relates to the fact that 5 is the second number in my list. Okay, so if you're sitting at home following along, then you should be thinking, oh, 7, I would represent that with a sub 3 because 7's the third number in my list. And 9, I would represent that with a sub 4 because 9 is the fourth number in my list. I'm just going to make a little note here, okay? If I have that a sub 2 equals 5, what that says is that 5 is the second number in the list. So that little subscript tells me what position that output is in, okay? I come all the way over here, dot, dot, dot. Well, again, n represents that I could have any number, n number, of terms in my list. And so to represent that, I would write a sub n, okay? All right, so let's take a look then at this general formula to find the nth term. Okay, to find the nth term, this formula right here is called the general formula. Okay, and let's talk about what all these pieces mean. A sub 1. I know what a sub 1 means. We just talked about it up above. A sub 1 represents the first number in the list. Okay? Oh, and I know what D is. We talked about what D is on the front side and up above. D represents the common difference. Okay? And n, we said up above, n represents, okay, the position of the number in the list. And a sub n, grab a purple here, a sub n represents the number in the list. Okay, this is the number in the list for the position you identify as n. Coming back to this guy right here. So that's going to be our output. Okay, so I'm going to label this. This is going to be our output. And this n right here, this is going to be your input, the position of the number in that list. And I'm going to use this formula. And this formula is going to help me find the number. Let's say if I have a list of numbers and I want to know the number that's in the 25th spot, this formula would help me determine the number in that 25th spot. So I'm going to do two examples with you. And then your job is going to be to do 6 and 7 to try on your own and submit to Google Classroom. So it says for each sequence, find the common difference. Then write the general formula and find the indicated term. Okay, so the common difference. Now remember, we said that the common difference, D, is the second term minus the first term. I'm going to use our math notation. If you look on the front, it says it was the second term minus the first term. I'm going to use our math notation to represent that. Okay, so if it's hard for you to see what I have to do to go from 5 to 11, you could always say, well, my second term's 11 minus my first term, which is 5, and that gives me 6. Yeah, I have to add 6 to get from 5 to 11. Oh, look, if I add 6 again, I get 17. If I add 6 again, I get 23. Oh, if I add 6 again, I get 29. So this works out. You always want to go through and check to make sure, right, that every number in the list follows that pattern. Okay, so now I need to fill out the general formula. I'm going to fill out a sub n equals a sub 1. I know what a sub 1 is. Okay, so this a sub 1 that is in my general formula comes from the first number in my list. Okay, and the first number in my list is 5 plus the common difference. Well, I know what the common difference is. That D is my common difference, and we calculated that common difference to be 6. So I got to fill that into my formula. Okay, so plus 6, parentheses, n minus 1. So when we talk about a general formula, we still have this n, which is our input, and the a sub n, which is our output. We're leaving those pieces blank in the general formula, and I'm just filling in the first term and the common difference. And now I am going to go and determine what a sub 16 is. I want to find the number in my list in the 16th spot. So I'm going to write a sub 16 equals 5 plus 6. The n is going to match that subscript. I'm looking for the number that's in that 16th spot. Okay, so a little heads up. The number in this subscript is the n that you're putting into your formula. Okay, and then I'm just going to type this in my calculator. In my calculator, I'm going to type exactly what I see. I see 5 plus 6 parentheses. You could type in 15 if you wanted, right? 16 minus 1 is 15. Or you can just type in parentheses 16 minus 1. And you should get an answer of 95. And I'm just going to interpret what this means, okay? This means that 95 is the 16th number in the list. Okay? All right. We're going to do number 5. So number 5, similar story. My common difference, right? I'm going to take my second term minus my first term just to verify. Some people can see that difference and some people cannot. That would be 13 minus a negative 6. Ooh, that's really 13 plus 6. And 13 plus 6 is 19. And so again, you would just want to check, and you can check with your calculator, if I add 19 each time, am I going to get that next number in the list? And the answer is yes. I will confirm it for you. Plus 19 each time will get me to the next number in the list. So now my general formula is going to be a sub n equals a sub 1, the first number in my list, which was negative 6, plus my common difference, which was 19, parentheses n minus 1. And now I'm going to evaluate a sub 48. That's negative 6 plus 19. In place of n, I'm going to write 48. That was the number in place of n in my subscript. And again, I'm going to type this in my calculator exactly the way I see it. And when I type that in exactly the way I see it, I get 887. The 48th number in my list is 887. Okay, so your job is to do 6 and 7. Be ready to share out in class tomorrow, and we'll see you later. Bye.